The brew spilled, but my heart brewed deeper. It was July 2023, 2 years ago, and I was 24. A barista crafting lattes in Seattle's neon-lit Pike Place. My espresso machine is shielded against the past that had soured my trust. My name's Eli, and Seattle was my grind. Its rainy pulse and glowing nights a rebellion against the spoken suburb, where I'd hidden my queerness until I came out at 16 in 2017. A ghosting ex had left me steaming alone, his betrayal in 2021. Still lingering like stale coffee, so I'd sworn off love, pouring my soul into my bruised shots, foam, Seattle's rhythm. But that night, Pike Place had other plans, ones that stirred my heart into a new blend. The Neon Brew Fest was a jolt of energy, a swirl of light cyan neons flashing brew. Gold strobes dancing, jazz and hip-hop beats thumping, festival goers. Hyped in lead aprons and glowing mugs, my booth, Bean Vibe, was alive, my machine hissing. My short auburn hair tucked under a cap, my sneakers tapping as I pulled a shot. I was mid-pour. The crowd buzzing when a coffee roaster, Theo, tripped over my milk jug, his bean sack bursting, ground scattering. The crowd gasped, the brew ruined, and I snapped. Yo, watch the jug. He turned Theo, maybe 26. His curly black hair glowing, a loose jacket flashing, his green eyes wide, flustered. Like a spark in the neon haze, I wanted to regrind Spokane's. Scar's yelling, keep your shots tight, but his eyes caught me, warm under the neon. My heart frothing like a loose pour. My bad, he said, scrambling to scoop the beans, his voice smooth. A Seattle drawl cutting through the murmurs, his fingers brushing mine on the jug. A jolt igniting my skin. I checked the spilled milk, foam flat, and Theo leaned in his. Cologne roasted beans, spice mixing with the festival's rich air. I'm Theo, he said. Dusting his jacket, his grin shy but electric. Roaster, saw your lattes on TikTok smooth. My cheeks burned, Spokane's walls trembling, but his vibe felt too much like my ex's charm. Too risky to sip out. My ex had been a barista too. All foam until he ghosted me in 2021. Leaving me to brew alone in Spokane's dim cafes, my trust bitter. I wiped the counter, but Theo lingered, his eyes tracing mine like he saw the craft beyond my cap. Let me make it up, he said, offering to roast a blend for my next latte. The crowd hyping as I reset my machine. The neon pulsed, Pike Place's energy urging me to blend, but I deflected. I'm good, I said. Voice sharp, checking my grinder. Theo's laugh bright, warm cut through, his hand grazing my wrist. A spark I couldn't filter. Check. My roast, he said, nodding to his booth, his eyes daring. Or you stuck in your brew? I wanted to stay in my booth, but Theo's grin pulled me to his setup. The neon flaring cyan, gold. Purple as jazz beats thumped louder. His roaster booth was vibrant beans spinning in drums. His TikTok clips trending with bean tours. The crowd buzzing, my pulse raced, Spokane's ghost fading, Seattle's rain urging me to pour. But mid-roast, a drum wobbled, Theo stumbling toward the booth edge. I lunged, grabbing his arm. Pulling him back, our eyes locking, his breath hot against my cheek. Nice save, he gasped, his grin electric, his hair brushing my jaw. My heart surged, but doubt clung, was he real, or just another Pike Place brew? Ready to ghost like my ex, I pulled back, the neon blurring as I retreated to my machine. Pike Place's rhythm sensing with my fear. Thanks for the catch. Theo called, following me, his jacket open, his eyes softer now. Less flash, more real. Stay, he said, voice low, a plea in his Seattle drawl. The festival buzzed, neon glowing brighter. City hum pulsing nearby, and I knew this wasn't just a spilled brew. This was Seattle, stirring me into a blend I wasn't ready for, but couldn't strain. The festival alley was a neon grinder, gold lights pulsing brew, cyan strobes flashing. Hip-hop driving the crowd wild. Theo dragged me to his roaster booth, his drum down, his hands light on my shoulders, urging me to try a new blend for his roast. My pulse hammered, Spokane scars begging me to dump, but Seattle's rain cool. Electric kept me brewing, my cap loose, Theo's grin pulling me deeper. Not bad, Brew King, he teased, voice low, his breath sparking a shiver. Knew you had a vibe. I shot back, steadier than I felt, my barista's calm matching his energy. My ex had steamed promises like this, all lattes until he ghosted. Me in 2021, leaving me to grind alone in Spokane's crack shops, my heart sour. Theo's touch was different, bold yet careful, his eyes searching mine, like he saw the art beyond my shots. The music slowed, a chill jazz track, and Theo stepped closer, his chest grazing mine. His cologne roasted beans, spice intoxicating. Why are you bitter? He asked, voice piercing. Like he knew my grounds, my throat tightened, Spokane's. Pain surging, but Seattle's neon urged me to speak. I don't trust roasters, I confessed. Voice raw, the crowd fading, just us in the neon glow. Theo's grin softened, his eyes dimming. Less spark, more human, his hands still on my arm. Warm, grounding. I'm not that guy, he said, voice firm, his Seattle drawl tinged with hurt. Just a dude who saw your bruise and couldn't scroll away. My heart twisted, his words hitting like a perfect pour. Raw, clear, shaking Spokane's grip. I thought of my ex's foam, but Theo's gaze was open, unguarded. The neon pulsed. Pike Place's energy wrapping us, and I wanted to believe him, but fear held me. My cap slipping. My pulse a shaky shot. Asterisk, we moved to my booth. Neon cyan. Gold glinting off my machine. Jazz a soft hum. The festival's was fading. Theo leaning, voice quieter. Less flirty. More real. I'm a roaster, he said. Chase blends. Live for the roast, but your lattes, they're real. Eli, like you. His words felt sincere. But a festival goer nearby scoffed, calling. Theo Pike Place's bean chaser, always roasting, never staying. My stomach sank. Spokane scars screaming, dump. That true? I asked, voice sharp. My machine still. Eyes locked on his. Theo's eyes widened, hurt flashing. But he didn't dodge. I roast, he said, voice low. But I don't ghost. The neon flared. Pike Place's pulse mocking my doubt, urging me to hear him. I stood, ready to pack my grinder, the neon blazing, my sneakers soft on the alley. Pike Place's rhythm sensing with my fear. Theo grabbed my wrist, gentle, his eyes pleading, raw, unguarded. Don't dump the brew, he said. Voice cracking, cutting through the festival's hum. I'm not your ex, Eli. My heart raced. His touch electric, Seattle's rain urging me to stay, but Spokane's voice hissed, he'll ghost. Prove it, I challenged, voice trembling. A desperate hope. Theo's grip steadied, his eyes burning with resolve, the neon glowing brighter. Pike Place daring us to blend. I stepped away, the city's hum blending with the neon buzz. Theo following, his jacket catching the cyan and gold lights, his eyes fixed on me. The night air was damp. A light mist off Puget's sound, Pike Place's energy alive, pulsing like a heartbeat. I knew this wasn't just a spilled jug or a saved stumble. This was us, to sparks brewing Seattle's neon grinder, fighting to stick the blend. Caught in a brew the city was stirring, one I wasn't sure I could trust, but couldn't filter. A light mist swept through Pike Place, Seattle's neon cyan. Signs. Gold market streaks shimmering in the festival's afterglow as I walked away in July 2023. My machine heavy, my heart heavier. Theo's bean chaser label echoed to close to my ex's foam. Spokane scars screaming, bail, Eli. Wait, Theo called, chasing me, his hair damp, his green eyes wild, desperate. What's wrong? He asked, voice slicing through the mist. I spun, anger flaring, cap off. You're just a chaser, I snapped, voice raw, shaking. I'm not your next bean, Theo. The neon flickered, the sound humming. Seattle's pulse mocking my fear, urging me to listen, Theo's face fell, his grin gone, his eyes raw, wounded, mist clinging to his hair like tears. You believe that, he said, voice low, cracked, heavy with pain. I'm not your ex, Eli. He stepped closer, neon painting his face cyan and gold, his hands open, vulnerable. I chase roasts, yeah. I blend beans, but I've been burned guys. Who wanted my sacks? Not me. left me grinding alone in 2021. My chest tightened. His story mirroring mine, Spokane's betrayal fading under his truth. But doubt lingered. Could I trust him? Or was Seattle's neon just another cup? The mist softened, his eyes pleading, raw, urging me to stay. Theo grabbed my hand, his fingers warm despite the mist, his grip soft, his eyes blazing with resolve. You're different, he said, voice steady, a vow carved in Seattle's glow. Your lattes, your heart, I saw you before I knew you. My breath hitched, his words hitting like a flawless shot, raw, clear, cracking my walls. I thought of my brews, my soul poured into Seattle's pulse, the festival's cheers lifting me. Why me? I whispered, voice soft, mist slowing, neon softening, because you're my blend, he said, his hand steadying mine, grounding me. I'm done with solos. Eli, I want the brew. The mist faded. Seattle's neon puddles glowing like stars, the sounds of a promise overhead. Pike Place's skyline faint in the glow. I wanted to trust Theo, to shed Spokane's pain, but trust was a shot I'd spilled before. His hand anchored me, his gaze unwavering, and I felt it a shift, a stir. Seattle's energy urging me to pour. One more blend, I said, voice low. A test, a hope. Cap loose. Theo's grin returned, soft, real. And he nodded, pulling me back toward the festival, the neon brighter. My fears dissolving like steam in Seattle's rain, we stepped back into the Neon Brew Fest. Neon cyan, gold embracing us, jazz beats pulsing like a heartbeat. The crowd alive again, Theo's hand stayed in mine, his touch grounding me in the chaos. And I knew this wasn't just a spill. This was us, two scarred souls brewing Seattle's neon grinder, daring to blend, to trust, to land. Even if it scared us both, Pike Place's rain fueling our fight. The festival wasn't just an alley, it was a vibe. Coffee stalls lined the path, their neon signs buzzing, selling beans and pastries, the air thick with roast and city damp. Baristas poured nearby, their machines humming, cyan and gold lights flashing across their cups. A group of teens filmed TikToks by a glowing brew sign, their laughter blending with the hip-hop bass line. My friend, Kai, a roaster with a fade and a rainbow wristband, caught my eye. Smirking as he adjusted a drum. Eli, you're off shot, he teased, nodding at Theo. He's got you brewing. I rolled my eyes, but my grin betrayed me, Theo's hands still in mine, grounding me. Theo's roaster booth was a vision, beans tumbling in drums. LED strips casting cyan and gold hues, his TikTok clips trending with rose tours. A young barista, Luna, maybe 20, with braids and neon pins, ran up, fist bumping Theo. You blending him? She asked, pointing at me, her giggle bright. Theo laughed, nudging her shoulder. Maybe he's grinding me, he said, his eyes flicking to mine, soft, real. My heart skipped, Spokane's shadows fading. Seattle's neon urging me to stay. I adjusted my machine, testing a shot, the crowd cheering as Theo roasted, our rhythm sensing. Back at my booth, the neon flared gold strobes cutting through the cyan haze, the crowd denser now. Hyped over my latte art, Theo stood close, flipping, his bean sack, his jacket catching the glow, his eyes never leaving mine. I thought of Spokane, the nights I'd brewed in silence, my ex's foam fading my cups. Theo was different in his presence, steady, his laugh a spark that lifted me. You're killing it, he whispered, leaning in, his breath warm, sparking. A shiver, I grinned, my machine humming under my hands, Seattle's rain urging me to dive deeper. The festival wasn't just coffee, it was stories. A roaster nearby ground beans, his mill humming, cyan and gold lights glinting off his sacks. A drag queen in a neon apron hyped the crowd, her voice booming, Pike Place, let's brew. My cousin, Leo, hood-driven from Spokane, watched. From the crowd, his rainbow cap glinting, his not a quiet cheer. He'd seen me crash after 2021. Knew how hard I'd fought to find my machine in Seattle. Theo caught his eye, waving, and Leo mouthed, he's dope, making me laugh mid-pour. My heart lighter than it had been in years. Asterisk, Theo's past wasn't clean either. Over tea at his booth, he shared fragments 2021, a cafe that promised. collabs but ghosted him, leaving him roasting in Seattle's warehouses, his dreams on pause. I thought I'd lost my spark, he said, voice low, his fingers tracing the rim of his cup. Then I saw your lattes, Eli, your soul in those shots. My chest tightened. His honesty a blend that landed, Spokane's pain fading further. I shared my own scars, my ex's ghosting, the nights I'd brewed alone, doubting I'd ever trust again. Theo listened, his eyes steady, his hand finding mine, a silent vow in the neon glow. The festival pulsed on, the crowd growing wilder. As the night deepened, neon signs brighter against the Seattle skyline. A group of baristas spun lit pitchers, their moves sensing with the jazz beat, while a stall chef tossed pastries to cheering fans. Kai joined us, his drum under his arm, joking. You two are a shot, Eli. Luna, Theo's barista friend, visited, showing off a neon latte art she'd crafted, her pins flashing as she grinned. The alley where we worked buzzed with creators, their clips now including us to figures. Hands linked, neon lines glowing. Pike Place wasn't just a place, it was our grinder, our blend, our love, etched in every pore we landed. We wandered to Pike Place's streets, the festival's hum fading, the neon signs reflecting in puddles. The sounds of a steady pulse. Theo's hands stayed in mine, his jacket brushing my arm. His eyes soft, real. You're not just a barista, he said, voice low, cutting through the mist. You're a brew. You lie when I can't stop tasting. My heart surged, Spokane's scars silent, Seattle's rain urging me to believe. I thought of my ex's foam, but Theo's words were different, draw. Unguarded, a blend I wanted to sip. You're not bad yourself, I said, grinning, cap. Loose, my pulse sensing with his. The rooftop studio above the festival glowed under Seattle's skyline, cyan neon signs flashing brew. Gold-lit market swaying, Puget Sound shimmering below like a liquid shot. Theo and I sat close, my machine parked, his bean sack tucked away, our tea sweating on the table. His green eyes locked on mine, no longer flashing, just open, raw, vulnerable, my pulse racing. You're still here, he said, voice soft, carrying hope, his hair catching neon. I nodded, Spokane's scars quiet. Seattle's rain urging me to dive. Spokane had taught me to hide, to brew in dim cafes alone. My ex's foam in 2021, a scar I carried to Seattle. Theo's hand found mine, his fingers tracing my knuckles, his touch a spark lighting the studio. Warm, electric. I've messed up, he admitted, voice raw, cutting through the neon haze. Chase cafes, trusted the wrong guys in 2021. But with you, Eli, your brews, your heart, I'm real. My breath caught, his words vivid. Like a perfect shot, his eyes burning green, Seattle's skyline pulsing, his truth crashing over me. Theo stood, his silhouette framed by neon, his voice rising, raw, a confession under Seattle's stars. I'm falling for you, he said, eyes locked on mine, neon exploding cyan, gold. Purple the studio trembling with his truth, the festival pulsed below, oblivious. But my world froze, his words a tide wash in Spokane's fear, leaving. Only us. I thought of my ex's cuts, but Theo was different in his gaze, his voice, his heart real. And I was falling too. I'm scared, I whispered. Cap off, voice shaky. But Theo's hands cupped my face, his thumbs brushing my cheeks. Warm, steadying, I stood, my machine forgotten, our eyes locked, tension electric. Air thick with Seattle's rain. Me too, he murmured, voice soft, but I want this, Eli, you, me, the city, all of it. The neon sang, cyan and gold swirling, and we kissed deep, wild, the sound humming below. Skyline bursting, vivid, alive. The crowd cheered downstairs. Unaware, but our kiss was ours, sealing a blend eternal in Pike Place's fire. Neon wrapping us in a vow we'd fight for, Seattle's pulse fueling us. The kiss broke, foreheads touching, neon softening, Seattle's warmth a blanket. My machine lay forgotten, Theo's bean sack glinting, his roast of neon blends glowing us. Our montage, inked in cyans and golds, we're brewing this. He said, voice soft, grin bright, eyes promising more. I nodded, heart full. Spokane scars fading under Seattle's magic, a promise we could keep. This wasn't just a kiss, it was us, the sparks in Pike Place's chaos, burning bright. Ready to stir love, one neon night at a time. Now, 2 years later, in August 2025, I stand at Bean Vibe, pulling a new latte, smiling at the memory, Theo's. Roasts light up our shared studio, his blend style in Seattle's coffee scene. Our love a shot that's kept brewing. My name is Eli, and this is our story, a gay love sparked in Seattle's neon. Fighting to shine, will we outshine Pike Places, glow, or stay lost in its vibrant grinder? Dawn broke over Pike Place that July 2023 morning. Seattle's skyline fading as gold sunrise spilled across the sound. Neon signs dimming as the city stirred. Theo and I walked the streets, hands linked, my machine slung over my shoulder, his. Bean sack tucked under his arm, Pike Place had reblended my soul. Its neon heart sparking a love I never thought I'd find. Theo's green eyes met mine, his jacket loose, smile soft, a vow brighter than the neon that brought us together. We're landing this, he said, voice steady, hand squeezing mine. Seattle's dawn sealing our promise, warm, real. Spoken was a shadow now. My ex's foam in 2020 went a faint sourness, replaced by Theo's warmth, his bold blends, his heart that saw my soul through the neon haze. We'd built a life here, my lattes ruling Pike Place's cafes, Theo's roast trending online. Our love of Brew Seattle stirred. I thought of that night, the spilled jug, the saved stumble, the rooftop kiss that changed everything, neon painting, US and science and golds. You're my perfect shot, I said, grinning, cap loose, voice steady, no longer afraid. Theo laughed, pulling me close, lips brushing my forehead, sound humming a chorus of hope, alive, endless. I pictured us, my mind brewing blends, Theo's roast, Seattle's skyline. A vivid montage of our love, bold and bright. Theo watched, arm around me, his touch grounding me, the streets alive with baristas, roasters, city's rhythm syncing with ours. We faced challenges, Seattle's drizzle, the world spills, our fears, but we were enough. Our blend stronger than any dump. Let's make it a banger, Theo said, grim bright, eyes promising forever, or as close as Pike Place could. Give Seattle's pulse beat in us, a love story inked in neon and dawn, shining on. The streets weren't just a path, it was a grinder. A barista poured nearby, her machine humming. Cyan and gold lights flashing across her cup. A biker zipped past, his lead tires glowing, shouting, keep the vibe, brewers, Leo, my cousin. Joined us, his camera is snapping candids, his smile wide, you're brewing, Eli, he said. His voice soft, knowing the weight of my spoken days. Theo grinned, tossing him a bean, and Leo laughed, the moment light, real. Seattle's dawn wrapping us in hope. Our studio became our hub, machines lining the counters. Theo's sacks glowing with roasts, our neon sign buzzing Bean Vibe. Kai dropped by, his room tapping a beat, joking, you two are a blend, Eli, Luna. Theo's barista friend visited, showing off a neon latte, art she crafted. Her pins flashing as she grinned. The alley where we worked buzzed with creators. Their clips now including us to figures, hands linked, neon lines glowing. Pike Place wasn't just a place, it was our grinder, our blend, our love. Etched in every pore we landed, my heart glowed. Our story vivid to boys, one city. A love that fought and won against the odds, but a question lingered, soft as the dawn mist. Could any love outlast the world's bitterness, or was this brew enough? I looked at Theo, hand in mine, a rainbow wristband matching mine, glinting in the sunrise, and knew we'd try, one neon night at a time. Pike Place had given us a bean, and we brewed our story bold, gay, vibrant for Seattle's skyline. To sip. This wasn't just a love. This was our blend, our spark, our forever. Alive in Seattle's neon shined out. If this story set your heart brewing, smash LIKE. Drop a comment with your Seattle brew vibe and subscribe for more gay love stories. Comment, what's your neon shot? Help us hit 1,000 subscribers. Your vibe keeps these blends alive. Chase your neon. And tell us, will Eli and Theo's love outshine Pike Place's glow? Or is there brew enough? My name is Eli, and this is our story of gay love born in Seattle's chaos, stirring bright, forever, or as long as Pike Place's neon glows. We walked into Pike Place's crowd that morning, hand in hand, my machine packed. Seattle's skyline a promise above. The neon signs flickered back on, our grinder igniting, our love a gay story vivid. Brewing forever in Seattle's rain, this was our montage, a love inked in Pike Place's neon heart. One sunrise at a time for the world to see.